Hey there, y'all. Someone asked me to do a video on what these boots like. Mia, let's get out of the way, love. Doing a video. What these boots look like, sort of cleaned up. This is about as cleaned up as I really get them. These are my NYX boots. And yes, I promise this is the last, maybe the last video, probably the last video on these boots. But man, who doesn't like boots, right? If you don't like boots, then well, then I guess you don't like boots. Figure I'd do a little bit of a show and tell today on just vegetable tan in general while I'm doing the video. Vegetable tan is amazing stuff. I've worked with it a lot. I've never worked with Wicket and Craig vegetable tan. This is about a 7-ounce Wicket and Craig vegetable tan. This is what it looks like after you really thrash on it. Taking it out hiking. Now this is 4 months in to wearing it. This stuff is all this pitting and stuff like that. It's all cosmetic. It's not going to affect the life of the material hardly at all. Let's compare it. You know, what I'm basing my love of vegetable tan on is stuff that I've made personally. So here is, you can see how beautifully vegetable tan patinas. This is a belt I made a couple years back, maybe 2 years ago. And just the different hues that you get. Start with kind of like a simple natural brown, and the hues as vegetable tan patinas. It's just absolutely beautiful. Here's another thing I made here. Here's give you a long shot of it. Ugh. So this is a gear bag, kind of like a adventure bag. It's stuff I throw in the back of the truck with. Could keep survival equipment in it or recovery gear, but it's just such nice stuff. Like the rough side patinas beautifully as it ages. The smooth side does. This one has a bunch of brands on the original on the hide. I just love the shine that it develops as it ages. And like I said in a previous video, I have left bits of vegetable tan, usually kind of like this thickness, that 10 to 14 ounce, out in the elements, in the sun, rain, wind, 90-degree summers, snow of Seattle. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and you can leave a piece of leather like this out for a couple years, and it's still a usable material. You can still take it, you can revitalize it, and you can work with it, and it just has an amazing lifespan. By comparison, not a negative comparison actually, here's a chrome tan boot. Again, I mentioned this boot as well in previous videos, is the White's MP Sherman. And this boot I wore all through the pandemic working at our cafe. This boot is way less water resistant, even though it's a similar thickness to the NYX. Now the NYX may lose some of their water resistance as some of the oils dissipate, but those can always be replaced. I still assume that it's the stitching and some things in the construction that make the NYX so much more water resistant than these whites. Comfort wise also, while we're talking about it, there's a huge difference. So this has got the lug sole. The belly of this arch here, where you've got that leather shank, it doesn't look drastically different on the whites than on the NYX, but the difference in comfort here as a shoe to wear all day, standing on your feet or walking or hiking, is massive. The whites, it's a really cool boot. It's a really high quality Pacific Northwest boot. But it is night and day. The NYX really have that out of the box. They've got that spring to the arch that high arch in the heel gives you. You really feel like your steps are slightly assisted in a way. And the NYX are obviously a heavier boot, much heavier boot. Way more sole, way higher heel than the whites, but the whites feel much heavier on your foot. Much more like you're wearing a plank with a moccasin attached to it, kind of, right? Real soft above, and then just, it's not that it's rigid, it's just that it feels kind of flat. Every shoe's different, every foot's different, right? But I am so happy with how these nicks have been to wear in lots of different applications, rain, sun, walking, standing. Yeah, love that vegetable tan leather. I hope this video was in any way fun to watch. Peace out, y'all.